A vision appeared to Paul in the night. There was a man of Macedonia standing, begging him and saying, "Come over into Macedonia and help us." Let me give you some context here. Macedonia was located north of modern-day Greece and west of modern-day Bulgaria. 3 centuries earlier, Macedonia achieved world prominence when Alexander the Great served as its king. The present-day Republic of Macedonia, located on the north of Greece, includes only a small portion of ancient Macedonia. Some have thought that the Macedonian man in the vision might be Luke. Others have suggested that he might be Alexander the Great. However, these opinions are merely speculative. The identity of this man is not revealed by Luke because his emphasis was on Paul's will to follow the call. What if this happened to you? What if any one of us has a revelation of this kind in a dream? God telling you to go to a specific place because you are needed in that place, because God said so. I want to share with you what happened when I came to this country many years ago. I came for different reasons. I wish I had a dream like a vision to guide my journey to the United States. My reasons were different. I came because I was practically forced to leave my native country. I had a good job with the government. I was living in the nation's capital. I had friends. In simple words, I had a life of comfort. One day, out of the blue, I was confronted with a harsh reality. My father was kidnapped by one of the guerrilla groups. All the events that followed happened so fast. It was like a nightmare. One day, I was in Colombia, and the next day, I was in New York. Paul came to Philippi. He had a mission there. He did not know all that it entailed. It was the Sabbath day. Paul and his companions went to the place of prayer. The Jewish community there would have been very small. Paul and his companions found women. In this place, they did not have a synagogue because that would have required the presence of 10 Jewish men. Perhaps there were not even 10 Jewish men in all of Philippi. The person who is telling this story said that Paul's companions sat down. It was customary to sit down to listen to the teacher. Let's go back to New York and my story. My spirit was wrestling with God. I enjoyed the newness of New York, but I had to face hardships and difficulties. I had to take the subway instead of driving. I had to speak and study in a different language, and I had to work long hours. I missed my family, friends, and my life of comfort. I was not happy with God. I kept complaining and asking God, why? Why this? And why that? One day, a friend from college asked me to come with her at church. She sold me on the idea of wonderful music and food. Why not? I thought, free concert and free food. When I arrived at this Episcopal church in the Lower East of Manhattan, I felt welcome. I heard the music and I heard the sermon. I started to cry. I felt moved to tears. People I did not know received me with love. They did not ask me why I was crying. They knew I needed to cry. They invited me to the fellowship hour after the service, they fed me, and I stayed. I felt embraced. My spirit was moved by God's presence in this loving faith community. Then Paul found Lydia. She is described as a worshiper, and to be more specific, Lydia is someone who fears God. This meant that she would have been a woman of God, a Gentile who favors the Jewish faith. Lydia's conversion probably happened while she listened to Paul's message about the good news. The Lord opened her heart to listen eagerly to what was said by Paul. This is the place where the Holy Spirit and the listener meet. And this is the moment when we are moved to do something meaningful with our lives. We should remember that God calls us to be faithful rather than successful. To me, Lydia was a faithful woman. After her conversion, she became committed to serve without looking back. She ministered to the people that were surrounding her. As we learn in the text, she even introduced her household to be baptized by Paul. This week, I had the opportunity to be reunited with a community of women pastors. We met as seminarians at Union Theological Seminary, and last Thursday, we ran into each other without having known that we would be attending the same meeting. As usually happens, we sat down together during the meeting, and during lunch, we recalled our days at seminary, classes, teachers, and chapel experiences. When we shared our experiences in ministry, we learned that one of us needed prayers. We gathered in a circle, and another Episcopal priest joined us. We prayed for her and for each other. We felt how God's Spirit filled each one of us. My spirit was filled, and I felt recharged to continue with my ministry and my day. I felt connected with the same spirit that filled my heart many, many years ago in that church in the Lower East Side. This story of Paul meeting a community of women and Lydia teaches us that we too can listen for God's Spirit to call us to service, to do something for others. Your call may not come in a dream as Paul's did, but you may have a knowing within you that you are being called to do something special that could be life-changing.